You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's something about on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with the Let's Play episode of I Wanna Hug That Gator. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! She leans her head against the wall of the railing before looking at me with a half smile. Thanks. You're right, I'm just throwing everything away like an idiot. I'm just scared. I'm here with you. I coax the rest of the tired grin from her, and she looks down at the shredded papers again. After everything was said and done, things became quiet. Beneath the solace of my umbrella, we relaxed together, at least until Olivia begins shifting uncomfortably. I sit and watch as she takes her calves and shifts them to her side with one hand. Her tail comes around and presses into the paper-filled floor before her, keeping her upright as she starts to lean forward. Finally, with the strength of her tail in one arm, Olivia shifts her hips from the floor and swings her shins fully beneath her. She smiles as she kneels over me. You just gonna sit there? Crap. I guess I was gawking stupidly. But it's just so fascinating seeing the girl maneuver herself in these odd yet well-practiced ways. I'm kinda jealous, actually. I wish I had a tail to do some of the things she could. I pressed my hands down on the floor and pushed myself up. I don't know why. I had thought to stand, but instead I shifted myself to a kneeling position, too. We're face to face now. Oh. For a split second, I feared the worst as Olivia drew me into a hug. I don't know what she would do, but this... I like this. For how strong her arms are, how they're wrapped around my chest feels exceptionally tender. My own arms have enveloped her, returning the embrace in a similarly soft way. And as her arms loosen, I draw back, though I don't want to take my hands off her. That was... nice. Don't make it weird. Sorry about that. With the sound of rainfall hitting the umbrella, my ears suddenly pick up the noise of what sounds like... squeaking? I look down to see that there's something shuffling in Olivia's pockets. A little beast emerges from its hiding spot with a squeaky yawn, to which Olivia offers her hand for it to use as a platform. Hey, little guy. Nearly forgot about you. Had a nice nap? That's a rat. Oh, right, you two haven't met each other. Inco, this is Guts. Guts, meet Inco. Oh, hi, Guts. I awkwardly wave at the apprehensive-looking rodent. Aw. Olivia lifts Guts to her shoulder gracefully, like her hand is an elevator for him. You brought him to school? Well, yeah, I just really needed him today since, all the crap that's happened. She gives Guts a few scritches under his chin. I bring him sometimes when things get rough. And nobody noticed? You haven't. Touché. Anakin did once. He just told me not to let him run around the school, otherwise it'd be considered a health hazard or something. The tardy bell rings out in the distance. We're late for our next classes. I'm sure Anakin will understand. We should probably get back to class. Here, hold this. I give Olivia the umbrella so she and the rat can stay dry while I go fetch the wheelchair. You did the thing. By now it's settled into some into the mud. This wheelchair has definitely seen better days. After dusting off the dirt and pulling water the best I can, I make my way back. Thanks. She offers the umbrella back, but I make sure to hold it above her. I keep the wheelchair steady with one hand as Olivia climbs into the seat, using her tail to help herself up. This game has so much art I can use as a thumbnail. We stand in the rain in silence for a moment, only sharing content glances. So, what do we do about the contest now? That's a good question. Ben was there when I saw my name on the painting. He already went to tell someone. So, like you said, no harm, no foul. What about your own submission? I ruined it. I scratched the back of my head. It wouldn't have won anyway, it's just a picture. Oh, I thought it was pretty okay. Hearing those words from Olivia sends a strange flash of heat to my face. It's not unpleasant, but again, those honest words from her really do cut through me for some reason. Thanks. A loud squeak draws my eyes to Guts as he stands atop Olivia's shoulders. You too? A wry smile stretches across Olivia's face. I think it means Guts is saying it's actually so-so. Hey! Cut him some slack, Guts. Inco didn't have any time to make anything for the contest. He's got some high standards. Yep, that's why I've gotten so good. The sheer absurdity of it. I don't know which of us broke first, but our laughter fills the air, heard only by us as the rainfall cuts off all other noise. So, now what? I don't know. I don't want to go yet. Still pretty worn out. A smile crosses my face as a wicked idea comes to mind. Well, too bad. What? I walk around behind Olivia, grinning like a mad idiot. Inco, what are you doing? Inco? Inco! Her head tries to follow me as I stand right behind her chair. I figured that pushing your chair around is really tiring, so how about I help you out? Olivia blushes and looks away. Fine, but just for today. Returning to the campus was certainly awkward. Passersby shoot us looks. It's not the most common scene to see a girl in a wheelchair just roll in on a sopping wet and tracking mud in. More likely, though, it's because the said girl had taken to using my umbrella to hide herself from those looks. She was already extremely red in her face. It was a conundrum. Drop the umbrella and let people see her. Or keep it up and draw more attention. I shall name it Nito Theorem. The Nito Theorem. She's gonna kill me if I ever attempt to publish it. But making our way back to Olivia's current class, she simply shook her still concealed head. I didn't really have much of a choice. From all that I knew of the girl, her last classes were all on the upper floors. And she was in possession of the elevator key. And I was in possession of the weakest knees here in St. Hammond, at least according to Coach Solly. So I wheeled her to my current photography class. On the way over, she keeps bending her head back to peek at me, like she's making sure I'm still there. Knocking on his closed door, the pterosaur professor didn't even bat an eye at the poorly hidden girl. He simply stepped aside and let us through. Ben was looking our way, but I chose to pay him no mind. After everything I heard, Olivia didn't even register he was here. She simply rolled herself to the back of the classroom and threw a door into what I'd always guessed was Yedikin's supply closet. Second, y'all, it is in fact water time. Alright, y'all, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Okay. You know what? I'm an idiot. It's a dark room, isn't it? The stares of my other classmates abated thankfully as our teacher continued his lecture. Taking my own seat, I focused on Yedikin. As much as I could, at least. My muddled thoughts kept me distracted the whole period. Just before the bell rings, Yedikin stares me dead in the eye. He points a stern finger directly at me, then to the floor to signal, "You! Stay!" Once everyone else has left, he closes the class door and locks it. "So, care to explain?" Explain, sir?" He opens the door in the back and signals Olivia to come on out. "The mud, the drenched clothes, the declaration of sanctuary." "I was having a bad day." She's looking a bit better, still drained, but she's not shivering. Her rat sits on her lap, and Yedikin extends a finger down to scratch under its chin. "I can see that." He takes a seat against a nearby desk and waves a hand for Olivia to go on. When she doesn't, he shifts his hand to me. I look between the two of them. Mr. Yedikin's expectant leer, and Olivia's pleading eyes. Ultimately, I shake my head in the negative. I just helped Olivia get out of the rain. "Of course." He slouches further atop the desk. "Can I tell you some other time?" "Sure. Whatever it was, it looks like you've recovered pretty well." Olivia doesn't answer verbally, instead giving him a bashful smile and nod. "Was it about your work again?" "Yeah." "Oh, this girl." He turns to me and points a thumb at her. "You know, the work she's so concerned about absolutely wrecks the grading curve in my class. For the sake of the other students, I had to put a limit on extra credit assignments." "Really?" "Yeah. Never before would I even consider such a restraint. Why punish someone for working too hard, I would think to myself. Then 4 years ago, this little green goblin comes rolling into my class. Half a semester and more than a few angry calls from parents later, my hands were tied. The young lady simply does too dang much." Olivia smiles but doesn't look up from her pet. "Was that much better than all the other students?" "Well, no, I don't grade by technique. If I did, you'd be in big trouble, Inco." "Olivia's work was very good even then, but the main thing I admire is how motivated she can be. I haven't seen someone so enthused to just paint in years. Certainly haven't seen anyone so enthused I had to change the rules like that." "You were worried it'd stop me." "Was I? That definitely sounds like me, but it didn't stop you, not even a little. Heck, that year you even got me to see some things differently." "I don't think I ever did anything like that." "You did when you came in after class the Friday before Mother's Day. Take a look at this." I'm handed the quill pen. The first thing I note about it is how soft the leather portion is. "It's a special pen you always use." "It's actually from my wife." "Whoa!" Inspecting it closer, I can see now more of the intricate details. Tea time? Oh, this tea is so good. From the faded engravings on the shank to the maintained but worn point, it's well made and kept, and yet the feather and brass showed its age. She came in that afternoon with a whole stack of crumpled painting drafts. So frustrated she couldn't get it right and is so determined to make it perfect. "I say any of these would be great. Your aunt would love any of these," and she fires back. "If it's not good enough for me, why would it be good enough for someone I love?" I did not have an answer. So I tell her to take a step back. We take a few hours to go over fundamentals once more. I send her home to try getting it right over the weekend, and come Monday she returns and hugs me first thing. That Friday night, though, what she said was on my mind. I talk about it all night with my wife, and that morning I decide to make a change for myself. My wife was molting at the time, so there was always a new feather or three in our blankets each morning. I took the biggest one, preserved it right, got a bit of help to make it into a real pen, and I've used it ever since. It helps me remember to do my job right, for the people I care about and for the people my students care about. And I think what it was, it's that childlike reasoning that comes so naturally for the youth. That reasoning, it makes a type of innocent, earnest dedication something I think I'd lost for a while. Don't give me so much credit. You haven't lost it, have you? Good. Don't lose it for me, okay? Okay. Anakin yawns and stretches. You feeling alright to go to your next class? Yes, I'm ready. Great. He claps a hand over my back. We should do this again sometime. Mr. Edekin ushers us out of his classroom as the late bell trills, handing us a note he'd rapidly scrawled on. Miss Prockley didn't seem enthused to see us come in late, but sighed as she read the late note from Edekin. As I took my usual spot, I felt something odd in the corner of my eye. Looking up, it was to see Olivia looking my way, with that smile on her face. One that spoke many words, yet I couldn't figure out what. All I could do in turn was try to match it before focusing on Miss Prockling's latest lecture. As more time passes, the art contest fades into the background. Last week I had a scare and Principal Scaler called me to her office. I feared that they figured out what Olivia did and assumed I was part of it, just as she predicted. Luckily, that wasn't the case. Instead, she wanted to inform me that they had no leads as to who could have done the swap, and since it was tampered, it'd be removed from the contest. No skin off my back, honestly. As compensation, she gave me one of the runner-up prizes, a coupon for some pizza from some Italian restaurant called Dynamo's. Not the biggest pizza fan, but not a bad prize to get after all this. Saving it for a rainy day. However, I found myself in a conundrum of my own doing. My peers' concerns about my entry were resolved, but I hadn't accounted for the new questions about my portfolio. My paint portfolio. The few times I showed off my photography work, they'd be mildly impressed at best. They were never upfront about it either. No, instead I got the runaround. Oh, yeah, these are nice, Inco. Not bad, but what about what you did for the contest? I can't even be mad about it, since it's just another misunderstanding, unintended lie, from my side of things. Then I had a thought. What if it wasn't a lie? What if I was actually good at painting? Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to all of our lovely patrons. Thank you all for doing for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!